Roda perekonomian di Indonesia terus berputar. Laju pertumbuhan ekonomi semakin meningkat. Seiring kemajuannya, semakin bertambah pula kasus sengketa yang terjadi. Era tahun 1970-an, peradilan umum kewalahan menangani perkara yang datang.
Umumnya pada waktu itu, sengketa-sengketa atau beda pendapat yang tidak bisa diselesaikan secara damai, maka akhirnya dibawa ke pengadilan. Dan pada waktu itu, pengadilan kita berbagai tingkat, baik pengadilan negeri, pengadilan tinggi, Mahkamah Agung, itu mengalami penumpukan perkara, ya perkara naik banding, perkara kasasi, perkara penyautan kembali, dan sebagainya.
Proses penyelesaian kasus yang panjang membuat perkara-perkara semakin menumpuk. Terciptalah kebutuhan alternatif, cara penyelesaian kasus sengketa dengan proses yang lebih singkat.
Bani mengambil inisiatif, didorong dan dibantu oleh beberapa pakar-pakar ahli hukum dan juga punya usaha, membentuk secara resmi Badan Arbitrase Nasional Indonesia pada tahun 1977. Yang fungsi dan tugas pokoknya sebetulnya adalah membantu, menyelenggarakan, memfasilitasi dunia usaha dalam menyelesaikan sengketanya melalui arbitrase.
Berangkat dari kesepakatan mendirikan Bani, terbentuklah surat keputusan resmi. Kala itu, arbitrase belum populer di Indonesia. Memperkenalkan arbitrase menjadi fokus utama Bani di dekade pertama.
Bahwa Bani juga menjalankan beberapa kegiatan, ya mengadakan workshop, seminar untuk dunia usaha, ya supaya memperkenalkan arbitrase itu apa. Karena waktu itu masyarakat belum begitu kenal, mereka masih kebanyakannya ke pengadilan aja. Jadi dianjurkan supaya memberikan pengertian prinsip-prinsip arbitrase itu apa, lebih praktis daripada ke pengadilan, keputusannya tidak mengenal banding, final and binding, keputusan terakhir mereka tidak ada banding, kemudian juga tidak terlalu formalistik, ya toh, diselenggarakan secara confident, semua diperkenalkan kepada dunia usaha.
Dalam tempo 1 dekade, hanya 27 perkara yang terdaftar di Bani. Seiring perkembangannya, Bani mulai dikenal di kalangan bisnis. 1987 sampai 1996, perkara yang terdaftar di Bani meningkat 100%. Pada tahun 1997, Indonesia mengalami krisis ekonomi moneter. Krisis melonjak, kondisi pun semakin kritis. Dampaknya mulai dirasakan secara nyata oleh masyarakat dan dunia usaha. Perubahan kondisi perekonomian yang cukup drastis membuat sengketa melonjak. Arbitrase yang belum cukup populer di masa itu semakin dilirik oleh pelaku usaha sebagai salah satu alternatif penyelesaian sengketa. Namun, ketentuan arbitrase yang ada di Indonesia pada saat itu tidak memadai.
Sejak zaman Belanda dulu, yaitu suatu peraturan tentang prosedur hukum perdata, hukum acara hukum perdata zaman Belanda yang dibuat tahun 1884 yang mengatur arbitrase tertentu ya sebagai pewasitan waktu itu. Tapi ketentuan-ketentuan dalam undang-undang Belanda zaman lama dulu itu sudah ketinggalan zaman, sehingga perlu ada undang baru yang menyelesaikan hal-hal yang nomor 30 tahun 99 tersebut, di mana di situ juga ada satu pasal tertentu, pasal 34 dikatakan bahwa penyelenggaraan arbitrase di samping secara ad hoc, secara khusus oleh para pihak sendiri, juga dapat diselenggarakan melalui satu lembaga arbitrase.
Karena desakan akan kebutuhan menyelesaikan sengketa non-peradilan, lahir Undang-Undang Nomor 30 Tahun 1999 yang mengatur tentang arbitrase dan alternatif penyelesaian sengketa. Undang Undang tersebut kemudian jadi payung hukum penyelenggaraan arbitrase di Indonesia. BANI sebagai lembaga arbitrase pertama di Indonesia semakin mendapat kepercayaan dari para pelaku usaha. Hingga tahun 2016, penyelesaian sengketa oleh pelaku usaha melalui BANI terus meningkat. Banyak perkara yang ditangani oleh BANI. Artinya, BANI semakin dipercaya oleh para pelaku usaha.
Ya, memang klien kami sangat puas dengan BANI karena di antara arbiter-arbiter BANI itu orang-orang yang sangat profesional, sangat ahli, sehingga mempunyai kapabilitas dan mempunyai integritas yang sangat tinggi. Sehingga kaidah-kaidah hukum itu menjadi sangat terukur di BANI ini.
Kemajuan BANI seiring meningkatnya perkara yang ditangani turut dirasakan oleh para karyawan.
Seingat saya dulu tahun 88 hanya 3 orang staf, lalu kantor masih bersama dengan Kadin. Mulai tahun 2001 kita bisa menempati di Wahana Geraha ini, awalnya lantai 1 hingga sekarang bisa lantai 3 dan memiliki aset di Menara 165.
BANI memiliki sekretariat tetap, kemudian juga tentunya ruang-ruang sidang yang sangat memadai, dan dilengkapi juga dengan perpustakaan yang memiliki koleksi buku-buku cukup lengkap. Kemudian BANI ada di 7
Menghadapi dinamika kebutuhan, BANI pun terus membenahi sistem dan meningkatkan pengelolaan SDM.
Secara keuangan audit oleh akuntan publik dan secara konsisten melaksanakan kewajiban perpajakan sesuai ketentuan yang berlaku.
BANI mengapresiasi seluruh karyawannya dengan mendorong dan berikan kesempatan kepada karyawan untuk menambah mereka dengan menuntut ilmu di pendidikan formal baik di universitas ataupun melakukan berbagai macam training yang ada.
Tidak hanya meningkatkan kualitas secara internal, BANI juga melebarkan sayapnya. BANI adalah anggota dan aktif dalam berbagai organisasi arbitrase internasional. Didirikan tahun 2005, anggotanya sebanyak 44 lembaga arbitrase di Asia Pasifik. Sejak tahun 2016, Ketua BANI adalah Presiden APRAK dan BANI merupakan sekretariat organisasi tersebut.
Dunia internasional melihat arbitrase di Indonesia ini memang tidak jauh beda ya dengan arbitrase yang berlangsung di negara-negara lain ya. Peraturannya tidak terlalu ketinggalan zaman. Pelaksanaan putusan arbitrase tidak lambat dilaksanakan, tidak sulit untuk dilaksanakan. Nah, itu yang kita coba juga ya, mengembangkan pengertian ini tidak saja sesama antar anggota dari APRAK berbagai negara, tapi terutama di negara kita sendiri.
BANI juga salah satu anggota RAIF, Regional Arbitral Institute Forum, yang pada tahun 2012 keanggotaan BANI dialihkan kepada IARBI, Institut Arbiter Indonesia, yang didirikan atas inisiatif BANI.
Kita melihat bahwa untuk yang akan datang, IARBI makin penting supaya kita juga disamakan dengan beberapa badan institut-institut di luar negeri seperti yang dibilang Chartered Institute of Arbitration. Mereka menyelenggarakan beberapa pelatihan-pelatihan, memberikan sertifikat-sertifikat untuk berarbitrase internasional. Selain itu juga kita kerjasama dengan beberapa institusi untuk mengadakan pelatihan mengenai arbitrase di institusi tersebut seperti di BANI, di OJK, dan nanti dengan LPKJN. Memang arbitrase itu terdiri daripada para arbiter, anggotanya sekarang sudah 50 lebih dan kita mengharapkan lebih lagi. Jadi kita mengadakan FDG, jadi forum-forum diskusi dengan mereka dengan kita mengundang arbiter-arbiter dari luar negeri, pakar-pakar arbitrase dari luar negeri, di samping yang ada di dalam negeri, supaya kita sharing pengetahuan yang baru.
Bani juga tergabung dalam ICCA, International Council for Commercial Arbitration, yang mempunyai ratusan keanggotaan di seluruh dunia. Di samping itu, Bani mempunyai berbagai perjanjian kerjasama di bidang kegiatan pengembangan arbitrase di negara lain, yaitu di Singapura, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Jepang, Korea, Australia, Belanda, Belgia, dan lain-lain. Proses perjalanan Bani dan pengalaman panjang menghasilkan kualitas pelayanan yang semakin baik. Dari jumlah dan kualitas arbiter, hingga waktu penyelesaian yang efektif.
Penyelesaian sengketa melalui arbitrase ini, integritas dari arbiter bisa diketahui oleh para pihak. Karena para pihak bebas untuk memilih arbiter yang dikehendakinya.
The Bani facilities are excellent, very convenient. The Bani administration is very professional. The fees themselves are reasonable, very reasonable when compared to other international centers.
Arbiter dan majelis arbitrase telah menerapkan metode yang disebut dengan hybrid arbitration atau combined process, yang di dalamnya majelis atau arbitrase atau arbiter tidak hanya menerapkan prosedur arbitrase, tapi juga menggunakan cara-cara atau metode alternatif lain, misalnya mediasi. Jadi mendamaikan dan memutuskan. Jadi dengan cara demikian diharapkan, atau itu yang kita harapkan, penyelesaiannya pun dapat diterima oleh kedua belah pihak. Putusannya arbitrase ini sifatnya final dan mengikat. Artinya tidak dimungkinkan atau tidak dibuka ruangan untuk banding atau kasasi. Dan yang terakhir yang juga penting adalah undang-undang membatasi waktu penyelesaian sengketanya 180 hari.
Empat 40 tahun sudah Bani hadir menjadi solusi penyelesaian perkara sengketa non-peradilan. Di era perdagangan bebas dan menjadi bagian masyarakat ekonomi ASEAN, Bani fokus pada perkembangan global.
Nah, kita sekarang sudah terkait dengan negara ASEAN, masyarakat ekonomi bersatu, ekonomi Indonesia itu semakin berkembang global, investor asing, kontraktor asing masuk, maka sebetulnya sudah waktunya kita meninjau kembali, menyempurnakan undang arbitrase kita, supaya Indonesia juga tertarik menjadi tempat orang-orang berarbitrase dari negara-negara lain juga. Jadi tidak lagi orang ingin menyelesaikan sengketa arbitrase di luar negeri, di Singapura, di Hong Kong. Padahal sengketanya mengenai sengketa proyek di Indonesia yang harus dilaksanakan putusan di Indonesia menurut hukum Indonesia.
Good morning, judges and competitors. It is a great pleasure for us to welcome you to our 2021 High School Moot Court Competition. I'm Evangeline.
Hello, I'm Helena.
And we're determined to guide you through International Law Moot Court Competition's 14th High School Moot Court Competition, by which I mean also the 14th opening ceremony today. Woohoo!
Hooray! Eva, it's such a delight to see you again. You look as vigorous as ever. Moreover, what a glorious opportunity we are bestowed to take on the roles of MCs for our juniors. Just look at all these bright competitors and judicious judges just ready to seize the day. Well, in different circumstances, of course. Moreover, we would like to congratulate all participants on your memorial submissions.
Congratulations, your assiduous efforts portrayed in your works have not only piqued our appreciation, but also our interest. Thanks, Helena, for bringing that up. I cannot contain my excitement either. This is, after all, our first time hosting for UPH's High School Moot Court Competition. Firstly, Let's shake off any lingering tension from last month's memorial period. We are so excited to begin this journey with everyone on this fine day.
Indeed, we are. Your competitive determination is what strives all of you to stand on the starting lines of international law moot court competitions, 14th High School Moot Court Competition preliminary rounds. So give yourself and your teammates and acquaintances within your screen a huge round of applause.
Yay! Before we begin, we are proud to announce that High School Moot Court Competition 2021 is supported by 4 different sponsors and 3 media partners. Our platinum tier sponsors consist of Badan Arbitrase Nasional Indonesia and Barumun International Patents. Our gold tier sponsor is James Purba and Partners. And last but not least, we have the silver tier, Hypermart. Honorable mentions to our media partners, including Inspira Law, Hukum Online, and Rack News, who might I mention is broadcasting this event live in their YouTube channel.
Wow! Thank you, sponsors, for helping this event. But without further ado, let's say our prayers. Kak Claudio Hipipiu will lead our prayers. Kak Claudio, as you may.
Hello, everyone. Let's gather our hearts in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for gathering us together today in the first day of high school moot court competition. We are grateful for your guidance to the teams who are participating and to the committee who have been preparing this competition. Take what we have prepared and multiply our efforts as only you can. Lead us, Lord, for today and the next 2 days until the end of high school moot court competition. All glory and honor belongs to you, Father, and in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Kak Claudio, for prayer. Speaking of guidance, Lina, let's give our competitors an insight into what this competition is about, shall we?
We shall, Eva. So, what is a high school moot court competition? It's a tricky one to elaborate on. How about you give it a shot?
Of course, the high school moot court competition is a moot competition held annually for high school students to vote on as representative of a particular side in court, and your arguments will be presented before the judges. Fun fact, UPH is the first university in Indonesia to introduce moot court competition to high school students since 2007, in hopes to simulate their fascination with the study of law.
Wait, Eva, what exactly is a moot court? Isn't it similar to debating?
Well, moot court is a simulation of a real court. There will be 2 teams that have opposing views to which they will present their arguments before the judge, verbally and through memorials. Despite some resemblance to a debate competition, a moot court mimics the realistic surroundings of actual mock courts. Hence, knowledge of a competitor's legal basis is put to the test, demanding a keen understanding of it. Therefore, moot courts make a more efficient learning mechanism for future lawyers.
Ooh, so informative. So the competition hones incisive skills, I see. In that case, there must have been a lot going on behind the curtains, no?
Yes, Lina. Our community took part in patching up the ins and outs of this competition until everything are set and ready. We're sending you their best wishes and hurrahs on their behalf.
Oh, we also received plenty of support outside our university through the recognition expo session. For this, we would like to especially thank you, our platinum sponsors, Bani Arbitration Center and Barumun International Patent. Thank you, sponsors and media partners, for chipping in with us for this competition. Coincidentally, I happen to know these sponsors' generous hands.
Okay, now that you have mentioned them again, I'm curious about all of our sponsors. Fill us in with more details, Lina.
Whoa, slow down, mate. Our leaders would like to personally welcome all competitors and judges, and I think they're waiting for far too long for us. Don't worry, I'll introduce the sponsors very soon.
Yes, you're right. Now, I'd like to invite Ms. Jessica Los Banos as our representative of UPH's Faculty of Law to present her welcoming speech. Let us give another warm round of applause. Ms. Jessica, the stage is yours. Sorry, Ms. Jessica, you're still on mute.
Mute myself, unmute. Okay. Yes, so thank you very much, Evangeline and Helena. So good afternoon, everyone, especially to our guests from the Bani, our high school moot court participants, coaches and advisors if you're here with us, and of course the members of the committee that's hosting this annual event for the Faculty of Law. Now, it is indeed a privilege for me to welcome all of you to the 2021 High School Moot Court Competition on behalf of our faculty leadership who are unfortunately not able to join us this afternoon due to a conflict in schedule. So this wonderful task has been delegated to me, and I'm very happy to declare this competition open on behalf of our Dean, Dr. Bintan Saragi, our Faculty Director, Dr. Feliana Tanaya, our Faculty Moot Advisors, Jessica Merpaung, as well as Ms. Jerry Shalmont, who is now in Geneva, also doing her own arbitration, but this time a real case. So let me share very briefly their message for you for the high school moot court participants. Their message is twofold. They're hoping that all of the participants will enjoy this moot court competition and also embrace the opportunity to network with your other competitors from other high schools. Now, this year's moot problem is entitled Platypus Transport versus the Democratic Republic of Arcadia, which actually simulates an investment arbitration dispute. So we do know that you have done your hard work over the last 2 months. You have read and analyzed the problem meticulously. You have done your legal research, and you also have prepared your memorials, which Helena and Evangeline has said and congratulated you for. So you are now at this exciting stage where you will be presenting your oral arguments before lawyers and arbitrators from the Bani over the next 2 days. We would like to recommend and share with you that participating in a moot court competition is much more than actually public speaking or debating. It is a special of your position, and that your position must be upheld vis-a-vis your competitors. So our advice to you is to engage in a conversation with the arbitrators, listen to their questions really very well, and respond to their questions directly and effectively, because we do know that you know the case very well, much more than the arbitrators will probably do. So also the second message of our leaders for you is that you will be graduating soon from high school. So we hope you will take this opportunity in this competition for you to reflect whether you really want to pursue a career in law, which is one of the professions that now in most students from around the world are really hoping to also enter into as a profession and practice. So again, let me welcome all of you and thank you for your participation this year. We also would like to thank on behalf of the faculty leadership, our sponsors and judges. So let me turn back the floor over to Evangeline and Helena. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica Los Banos. We shall remember the wisdom in your words to take good opportunities from this event. Our leaders of this event have speeches to share in expressing their enthusiasm. Please welcome the head of Himpunan Mahasiswa Fakultas Hukum UPH, Kak Ryan. Kak Ryan, the stage is yours.
Thank you, MCs. Good afternoon to our distinguished guests, to our beloved and respected lecturer, Ms. Jessica Los Banos, who are present here in the Zoom meeting today, and not to mention our very outstanding delegates and committee. First of all, let us praise God for it is through His guidance and strength that it is possible for us to be gathered here in the Zoom meeting today in order to attend the esteemed 14th High School Moot Court Competition. Well, it is such a pity that we aren't able to hold this event offline, but let us not let this fact relieve the High School Moot Court Competition of its essence and enjoy the event as best as we can. It is I, with great honor, I am Giovanni Cristianto, as the President of UPH Faculty of Law Student Executive Board, or you may call it HMFA, welcome all the delegates participating in the competition today. Of course, I would like to wish all of you good luck for the competition, as well as remind everyone that both integrity and sportsmanship is the utmost importance here. I, for one, encourage all of you to make this competition a stepping stone for you to better yourself as both individuals and scholars alike. Keep on persevering and giving your best, but above all, always remember to put God first. I would also like to express my appreciation towards the HSMCC committee that have worked hard for the past few months in order for this event to be prepared successfully. I sincerely hope that the execution of this event will be as high, if not higher, than all of your expectation, for I know that you have strived to give it your all every step of the way. Once again, good luck to all the delegates and committee members. And that is it from me today. God bless all of you and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Karayan, for your warm greetings. Your speech is indeed very inspiring to remind us to always put God first in everything we do. I'm getting the jitters. Let's continue on to our next leader. Give it up for our General Director of the International Law Moot Court Competition, 𝐂𝐸𝐿 Alexander Julie. 𝐂𝐸𝐿, the stage is yours.
My name is Clement Alexander Julie, and I'm here talking as the head of the International Law Moot Court Committee and the 14th High School Moot Court Competition. First, I'd like to thank God for all His grace for allowing this event to pull through and for gathering all of us around for this event, even if it's only in a virtual room. I'd also like to thank all the faculty advisors who have provided us with their guidance and help along the way. Without them, we might have been lost once or twice, but they keep pulling us back to the right way. I also can't forget the help of the UPH Marketing Division for their help in publishing our competition's media. Himpunan Mahasiswa Fakultas Hukum for lending a hand and help supervise our event. Our sponsors, Bani Arbitration Center, Barumun International Patent, James Purba and Partners, Hypermart for their contribution in making this competition run smoothly. Our media partners, Rec News, Hukum Online, Inspire Law, for lending their platform to spread awareness of this event. And last but not least, I would like to thank all the committee members for all their hard work in our journey to the realization of the 14th High School Moot Court Competition. The 14th High School Moot Court Competition, which started from year planning back in August, has now prospered to a real event with all our hardship, starting from forming the High Sensitive team, getting our proposal for the event approved, finding sponsors, pulling in participants, inviting judges, preparation of all the logistics, including Zoom, this room, and the campus building that I'm in, and even yesterday when we're rehearsing the script for this opening ceremony, are steps that are not exempt from challenges. However, by pushing forward without giving up, without realizing it, we have learned a lot on the way. I hope this is not just felt by us, the committee, but the participants too. A moot court competition is anything but easy, but through the coaching session, I've witnessed teams that keep improving for every time I see them. We hope that this experience is an educational and a pleasant one, where by the end of it, win or lose, you'll get something out of it. Maybe it's knowledge, skills, connections, or even friendship. Whatever it is, we're glad that you have come and tried our competition. Best of luck to all of you, and may the best move through it.
Thank you, Kak Clement, for your encouraging speech. Such sentiment makes me tear up a little. Right. I still owe you details, Eva. Introducing our first platinum sponsor, starring Bani Arbitration Center. We have a short recap of the video that we showed in the beginning. Thank you.
Okay, I think our Anit is having a little bit problem. We shall wait for a minute so that we can hear the video clearly. Okay, let us hold on a sec so that we can hear the sound clearly. Yeah. So, Pak Clement, how are you feeling today as the head of LMCC?
Hi. So, hi everyone. Hi participants, judges, and Ms. Jessica Los Banos, and also our sponsors. I'm very happy that this event has prospered to a real event from the planning that we have started in the beginning. I didn't really expect this to run that smoothly, but with everyone's help, it seems that we're here right now, and I'm very excited to what will come tomorrow in the event and the day after. Well, I hope that everything just runs smoothly, and I hope that the technical team would be done with their issues so we could watch the video nicely soon.
Thank you, Pak Clement. So let's hear some our videos from our sponsorship.
BANI mengambil inisiatif, didorong dan dibantu oleh beberapa pakar-pakar ahli hukum dan juga pengusaha usaha, membentuk secara resmi Badan Arbitrase Indonesia pada tahun 77. Yang fungsi dan tugas pokoknya sebetulnya adalah membantu menyelenggarakan, memfasilitasi dunia usaha dalam menyelesaikan sengketanya melalui arbitrase.
Empat 40 tahun sudah BANI hadir menjadi solusi penyelesaian perkara sengketa non-peradilan. Di era perdagangan bebas dan menjadi bagian masyarakat ekonomi ASEAN, BANI fokus pada perkembangan global.
Nah, kita sekarang sudah terkait dengan negara ASEAN, masyarakat ekonomi bersatu, ekonomi Indonesia itu semakin berkembang global, investor asing, kontraktor asing masuk, maka sebetulnya sudah waktunya kita meninjau kembali arbitrase kita supaya Indonesia juga tertarik menjadi tempat orang-orang berarbitrase dari negara-negara lain juga. Jadi tidak lagi orang ingin menyelesaikan sengketa arbitrase di luar negeri, di Singapura, di Hong Kong. Padahal sengketanya mengenai sengketa proyek di Indonesia yang harus dilaksanakan putusan di Indonesia menurut hukum Indonesia.
Moot International Patent in association with Pulungan, Whiston and Partners is a full-service law firm providing a broad range of intellectual property and other legal services to Indonesian and foreign citizens.
That's true, Lina. Moot International Patent represents diverse clients in a wide variety of matters involving the acquisition, maintenance, utilization, protection, and enforcement of intellectual property rights arising under the Indonesian patent, copyright, trademark, trade secret, industrial design, and integrated circuit layout laws, and those of other countries.
The clients of Moot International Patents intellectual property practice range from cutting-edge technology companies to media concerns to prominent international manufacturers and merchandisers of high-end apparel, accessories, automotive, and pharmaceutical products, among other companies such as Abu Dhabi National Company for Distribution, Ace Hardware Indonesia, Aditya Boga Inti Prima, Bank Central Asia, Bank OCBC NIS, Diesel, Jarum, L Baik Food Systems Kosa, Orang Tua Group, Grant Indonesia, Kapal Api Group, PT Kawan Lama Sejahtera, Kawasaki Jukogyo Kabushiki Kaisha, PT Kalbe Pharma, Petroleum Nasional Berhad, PT UP Indo Jeligam, Naver Corporation, Sanofi, Amor Pacific Corporation, PT Astra Auto Parts, TBK, PT Astra Toyota Manufacturing.
While they specialize in intellectual property fields, Moot International Patent also provides a wide range of legal services, varying from corporate and commercial law, employment law, civil and commercial litigation, and foreign capital investment.
Barristers International Patent is led by our managing partner, Mr. Amrist Pulungan SH, with more than 18 years of experience in the field and team, which includes authorities, licensed IPEC consultants, and supporting staff from legal, finance, IT, and engineering background. So what exactly is the gold sponsor? Well, let's dive deeper into its vibrating protons. James Purba and Partners. James Purba and Partners was established in 2002 by Jamaslin James Purba SHMH in order to provide quality solutions for commercial and corporate legal issues in Indonesia. The firm has since expanded to legal experts from various fields of legal expertise, such as bankruptcy law, litigation and dispute resolution, maritime law, real estate and property law, foreign investment assistance, banking and financial law, and intellectual property law. James Purba and Partners has since become a leading legal firm in Indonesia in handling corporate and commercial cases.
I think I've heard of James and Purba and Partners before, Lina. I remember that the firm maintained its commitment to provide the best legal advice and representation for its client in Indonesia, utilizing nearly 20 years of legal expertise and experience to offer the most efficient solutions to legal and bureaucratic obstacles to foreign investors and local business alike, correct?
Now, we'd also like to mention our media partner, Hukum Online. Hukum Online was founded by leading legal observers at the beginning of the reform era. It was initiated to provide education and enlightenment to the public about the legal world in Indonesia. Facing the era of destruction, Hukum Online has transformed into a regulatory tech company that provides the most complete, integrated, and trusted legal products and services with the use and utilization of technology. Until the early 2021, Hukum Online has thousands of clients, including companies, well-known law firms, and government institutions with exclusive services in the form of access to the largest database of laws and court decisions in Indonesia,
a subscription to a concise analysis of the latest regulations presented in English and Indonesian,
holding seminars, training, and discussions on the latest legal issues,
providing a platform for technology-based document management solutions and legal compliance systems,
promotional media, and publications for the dissemination of policies and or legal laws and regulations issued by the government. Under the auspices of PT Justika Siar Publika, Hukum Online has grown and expanded since its business line by establishing two subdiaries, 𝐒𝐫𝐿 ID and Justika.com. Coming up is the technical meeting. So, dear participants, please refrain from leaving the meeting after the ceremony finishes.
Lastly, before we continue to our technical meeting, like all other competitions, of course, our high school moot court competition also has awards to our winners.
That's right. We have the Bunny Arbitration Center Champion Award for the first place, the Barristers International Patent Runner-Up Award.
The Bunny Arbitration Center's Best Oralist Award for those with top 5 highest oral score, the Barristers International Patent Best Memorial Award for the team with the highest memorial score, and the James Purba Spirit Award, the Best Newcomer Team. Without further ado, the moment you all have been waiting for, sound the gongs, because the first preliminary round is about to get started. Happy mooting, everyone. We wish you all good luck, and remember, whether bringing home the trophy or not, your learning experience obtained from this competition is already a win.
Happy
mooting. Now we're entering the photos to shoot session. Please, everyone, to turn on their cameras so we can document this event together.
Big smile.
All participants can turn on their camera so we can document this event together.
You guys ready ya? 1, 2, 3. Bentar ya guys.
Okay, now for the next page.
Sekali lagi ya. Next page. There, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, documentary, for taking this event photo shoot. Now we can continue to our technical meetings.
Good afternoon, everyone. So now that we're done with the opening ceremony, right now we're going to have the technical meeting. So I'm going to read several rules, regulations, and Zoom mechanisms. So I hope all of the participating members of this year's HSMCC can pay a careful attention to the rules that I'm about to read. But before that, I will be distributing the booklet for this year's HSMCC. I'm going to paste the Google Drive link in the Zoom chat. So if you guys open the Zoom chat, there's going to be the booklet and there's going to be a Zoom background for each group. So there's going to be folders. Just open the folder of your group. There's the group number on them, and you just open it, and you guys can find the Zoom background that you guys need to use throughout the competition. So yep, I've shared the link so you guys can open it and find your Zoom background for your designated team numbers and the booklet. Next slide. First of all, we would like to say thank you once again for Bani Arbitration Arbitrase Nasional Indonesia. And next up, we have Barumun International Patent. Next, we have James Purba and Partners, advocates and legal consultants. And then next, we would also like to thank Hypermart as one of our sponsors. And our media partners, hukumonline.com, recnews.com, and Inspiralo. So yep, I'm gonna first be explaining the rundown for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. The Zoom will be opened in 7:30. So every participant is expected to be in the Zoom by 7:30 until 8 to prepare themselves, where in 8 o'clock until 9:15, we're going to start our first preliminary round. And then we're going to have a break for 15 minutes from 9:15 until 9:30. And then from 9:30 until 10:45, we are going to have our second preliminary round. And another 15 minutes break from after we finish that round from 10:45 until 11. And then we're going to start again our preliminary round 3 from 11 until 12:15. We're going to have a longer break this time for 30 minutes after we're done with the third prelim, so that teams could prepare themselves for the quarterfinal round from 1:45 until 3 o'clock. And then we're going to have a closing for day one from 3 o'clock until 3:30. For the next day, on Sunday, Zoom will be opened by 9:30. So every participant is expected to be in Zoom by 9:30 until 10, where, because in 10, we're going to start our semifinal round until 11:30. And then we're going to have a break from 11:30 until 1 o'clock. And then followed by a final round from 1 until 2:30. And there's going to be a long break. And then we're going to resume again at 4 o'clock until 6:30, where it's going to be the awarding and the closing ceremony. Next, I'm going to be reading the official rules for this year's HSMCC. For all rounds, each team shall consist of first counsel, a second counsel, and a researcher. So maximum 3 persons from each team, as designated by the team or by its relevant participating school. Each team shall not in any circumstances be permitted to mention anything about their background, including school, which would otherwise be subject to a deduction of a fixed mark of 10 from the total score of the oral hearings. Each team shall speak for no more than 25 minutes. The first counsel and the second counsel for each team shall each speak individually for a minimum of 10 minutes. Each team may reserve up to 5 minutes for rebuttal. The claimant is going to do a rebuttal, and the respondent is going to do the rebuttal. Each team shall indicate at the beginning of its oral argument the time allocation of each counsel and the rebuttal or this rebuttal. So before the round start, the bailiff is going to give in the Zoom chat a description where each participating member should fill the description for their time allocation. Either the first counsel or the second counsel may address the court in rebuttal or rebuttal. For the avoidance of doubt, the time reserved for rebuttal or rebuttal is not included in the minimum time for each counsel to speak. Next. The court may, in its discretion, extend the time for each counsel for good cause at the maximum of 2 minutes. So if your time has elapsed, the time that you have designated for yourself, for example, 10 minutes, when it is up, you may ask the judge for a time extension at the maximum of 2 minutes. When a team is given the time extension, the opposing team shall be given equal amount of extension as well. Time shall be kept by a bailiff who will warn counsels by appropriate means when they have 5 minutes left, 1 minute left, and when it is time to conclude their address forthwith. So later during the pleadings, the bailiff will be sharing the screen for the timer. So you guys can see the timer in the share screen. However, the bailiff will still continue to remind you if you have 5 minutes left, 1 minute left, and when it's your time to end your pleading through the Zoom chat. The order of the oral presentation shall be first claimant's first counsel, followed by claimant's second counsel, followed by respondent's first counsel, followed by respondent's second counsel, followed by a rebuttal, if any, from the claimant's first or second counsel, and last, it's going to be followed by a rebuttal, if any, second. Disruption, and teams and spectators shall avoid all unnecessary noise or other inappropriate behavior which distracts from the argument in progress. Team members shall not be permitted to communicate with any external person except the judges. Without limiting the foregoing, with respect to delegations that consist of 3 members, the researchers should enter the breakout room as an off-counsel and similar to the oralist, allowed to communicate via Zoom chat. Next. So just to remind you in regards to the timing, your time shall not exceed for more than 25 minutes. So each party, the claimant and the respondent shall not speak more than 25 minutes. So please allocate your time accordingly. For example, if the first counsel is going to be speaking for 10 minutes, it means at a minimum 10 minutes. So your second counsel might, for example, speak for 13 minutes, which means that you guys have 2 minutes for either your surrebuttal or rebuttal, so that your time would be 25 minutes and not exceed 25. So back again to the rules. For the quarterfinal round, 8 teams with the highest score combined of oral performance and memorial in the preliminary rounds will qualify as the quarterfinalists. And for the semifinal and final round, in each competition, teams shall advance based purely on judges' decision. However, the oral performances will still be scored for the purpose of determining the second runner-up. So to clarify, during the preliminary rounds, there will be no party who win or lose. For example, claimant, the judges wouldn't tell you who win. However, in the preliminary rounds, your points will be counted. But starting from the quarterfinal round, the judge will be telling you who will proceed to the next round. And those persons, for example, in quarterfinals round, the teams that the judges declare them as the winner will go to the semifinal round, and the same thing goes with the final round. Next. Leora will be explaining the scoring mechanism for this year's HSMCC.
Thank you, Claudio. Hello again, everyone. Allow me to explain on the scoring system of this competition. So on the general mechanism, during the preliminary round, each team will be assessed in a range of 0 until 300 points. And the overall score is comprised of 2 assessments. First, it will be the memorial score, which range from 0 until 100 points. And second is the total oral score of 0 until 200 points. And then the 8 highest ranking teams from the preliminary round, they will proceed to the advanced rounds. Next slide, please. For the memorial scoring mechanism, the total memorial score 100, that total memorial score. Second, the score of each individual, the claimant and the respondent, is based on the average score given by 3 judges. Third, the combined score of 2 speakers with the memorial score will then make up the overall team score in a scale of 0 until 300. Now, the judges' discretion regarding the scores are final and binding. Lastly, before being tabulated, the score of each individuals, the claimant or the respondent, they will be subjected to penalty of deduction. Next slide. Next, memorials shall be typed with 1.5 line spacing. Failure to meet this will be deducted up to 5 points. Memorials shall be typed using Times New Roman in size 12 on plain A4 size paper. Failure to meet this criteria will be deducted up to 5 points. Failure to provide the right name and format, it will be deducted up to 5 points. And for an excessive length of pleadings, there is a limit word of 2,500, which does not include footnotes, index of authority, index of abbreviations, and title page. There will be a deduction of 4 marks for 1 until 50 words in excess, a deduction of 6 marks for 51 until 100 words in excess, a deduction of 10 marks for over than 200 words in excess. The citations must be in the body of the text or footnotes, not the endnotes, and with proper legal citation standards. Failure to meet this will be deducted up to 5 points. And for a delay on submitting the memorial, it will be deducted 2 points for each calendar day. Now, do not worry, all participating members will get to see the scoring result, which includes the penalties, once the technical meeting is over. The score sheet will be sent to each team's respective email after this technical meeting. Next slide, please. For the oral rounds, a team's total oral score ranges from 0 until 200 points, comprising from the combination of scores from each individual round. So the total score is 50%, first individual round plus 50, that is 50% too, for the second individual round. Now, each individual round is based on the average total of each respective speaker scores, judged by 2 or 3 presiding judges. For the determination of the best oralist, the team's oralist will plead as a claimant and respondent in the preliminary rounds. The oralist will only be eligible for the Best Oralist Award when they have advocated as both counsels and have the highest combined speaker score. Next will be continued again by Claudio. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Leora. So I will be explaining the Zoom mechanism. Please pay careful attention once again. First of all competing members shall use the Zoom background provided by the committee. If you guys open up, I would like to remind you again, if you guys open up the Google Drive link that I've sent in the Zoom chat, you guys can find each folder with your team number on it. So you guys can click it and save it and use it throughout the competition. All competing members of the team must stand by in the Zoom 30 minutes before their competing schedule. All competing members and spectators will be asked to enter the chamber, which in this case is the Zoom breakout rooms, 15 minutes before the round starts. All competing members may turn off their cameras in the main room and mute themselves. If any competing members of the team are disconnected from the Zoom while it is their turn to plead, they're given 10 minutes to reconnect and re-enter the Zoom during the rounds. Every competing members will be invited to a breakout room to do their oral pleading. Next. In the breakout room, the competing members are required to fill in the name of the oralist and the time allocation for each oralist, which will be given by the committee, in this case is the bailiff for each designated chamber, in the Zoom chat. After completing the oral pleading, competing members are required to leave the breakout room to give the judges time to deliberate and to score. During the judges' deliberation and scoring, the competing members are not allowed to leave the Zoom yet, the main room yet, as they will be invited back to hear the feedback and the comments from the judges. After receiving feedback and comments from the judges, the competing members are allowed to leave the Zoom. Scouting is prohibited. On the competition days, all teams and their respective spectators are prohibited from watching the rounds of other teams from different schools, such as to prevent the scouting of arguments. Next. In relation to the dress code, team members should wear formal attire, for example, shirts, blazers, dress pants, or skirts. Team members should not wear their school uniform or anything that affiliates them with their school of origin. For the Zoom name format, which I'm sure some of you guys have already implemented this regulation. So it's gonna be your team number underscore your full name. For example, using my name, for example, I'm team 212, then it would be 212 underscore Claudio Hitipeu, 222 underscore Yemima Abraham Sanda. Next. So this is the preliminary round distribution for tomorrow. For chamber 1, you guys can take a picture of these, but it's also in the booklet. For chamber 1, we're going to have team 223 as a claimant versus 211 as the respondent. For chamber 2, we have 214 versus 224. Chamber 3, we have team 217 versus team 215. And for chamber 4, we are going to have 225 versus team 220. That's for batch 1 from 8 until 9:15. And for batch 2 from 9:30 until 10:45. For the first chamber, we're going to have team 211 versus team 212. For chamber 2, we are going to have team 213 versus 214. Chamber 3, we are going to have 215 versus 216. Chamber 4, we're going to have 218 versus 217. Chamber 5, we're going to have 220 versus 221. And for the last batch of the preliminary rounds from 11 until 12:15, for chamber 1, we're going to have 212 versus 213. Chamber 2, we're going to have 221 versus 218. Chamber 3, we're going to have 224 versus 223. And chamber 4, we're going to have 216 versus 225. That is all for the preliminary rounds distributions. Once again, I'm going to wish you guys good luck and God bless you. I am going to return the floor again to the MC. Thank you. If you guys have any question, you guys can either unmute yourself or you guys can type in the Zoom chat and the committee will answer your question. So maybe we're gonna wait for maybe 5 minutes if there's any question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Kak Claudio. 5 minutes. Now shall we have a break for 5 minutes?
Okay, there's one question from Arsia. Hi, I'm new to Moot Court. I wanted to ask if we would be repeating our speeches if we pass the preliminary rounds or not. So as I have mentioned earlier in the in my presentation before, so in the preliminary rounds, you guys will be collecting points, right? So there's no win or lose in the preliminary rounds. However, if you guys have enough points to go to the have enough points that you guys collected from the preliminary rounds, you guys will compete again in the quarterfinal rounds. So if your points is above the standard point, as Leora have explained earlier, you guys will go to the quarterfinal rounds and will repeat your pleading, or in this case, your speech. I hope that answered your question. And the same thing goes with the final and semifinal rounds here. So different from the preliminary rounds, this time in the quarter and in the final and semifinal, the judge will be telling you of the teams that proceed to the next round, who wins or who lose. There's another question. What if my Zoom setting background is error? So please, as much as you can, use the Zoom background. However, if there is any problem or problem that you can't fix, I think it is okay to not use the Zoom background, but please, as much as you can, use the Zoom background. There's another question. For the champions who will receive the scholarship, is it any given out? For the champions who will receive the scholarship, is it any given out for the oral speakers or 2 teammates of our choice? So maybe from the from other committee who would like to answer this scholarship? If you guys, so the scholarship is going to be given for the for champion and the runner-up, and also for the first best oralist, right? For first best oralist, of course, the person that is entitled to that scholarship is the one who obtains enough point to be the first best oralist. However, for the champion scholarship and for the first runner-up scholarship, is there anyone from the competition department who would like to explain in regards to the scholarship? Okay, maybe we're going to pass on that question first. We're going to return to that question. There's also another question. Is it allowed for the teams from the same school to go against each other? You guys might go against each other if you guys proceed to the quarterfinal rounds or the semifinal rounds. As a matter of fact, you guys may meet each other in the final rounds. Okay, there's another question. Good afternoon. If our team will be mooting from the same Zoom as in physically together, do we just rename our Zoom account whenever we change oralists? Okay, in that case, if there's an exchange of oralists, I think it is better if you guys can rename your Zoom in accordance with your name. So, but try as much as possible, use a different device, different laptops for different teams, so that it's going to be easier for you guys. Okay, so in regards to scholarship, 𝐂𝐿 will be explaining in regards to the scholarship. Is there any more question? Can we change oralists throughout the competition? Yes, you can. So for example, if in the first round you plead, so you guys are going to plead 2 times, right, in the preliminary rounds. So if in the first preliminary rounds you guys, for example, have, let's say, Tini and Tono for your oralist, then you guys can change oralist in the second round. It doesn't matter, you can change oralist. However, I just want to remind again, make sure that the time allocation does not exceed 25 minutes. Is there any more question? Okay. Okay, I think, okay, there's actually another question. So I think, yeah, I think it's good if 𝐂𝐿 can answer these 2 questions. So okay, there are teams that come from the same school, but based on the draw, we're going to go against each other in the preliminary rounds. So are there rules against the team? Are there rules against the team from the same school going against each other in the preliminary rounds? And then maybe after this, yes, and then maybe after this, you can also answer the question in regards to the scholarship plan. For the champions who will receive the scholarship, is it any given out for the oral speakers or to teammates of our choice?
Okay. So hi everyone. I deeply apologize as I can open my camera. There was something urgent that came up, so I had to go downstairs and I had to take care of it. But now it's all good. So for the scholarship question, I know you guys might be wondering, the scholarship only applies to 2 person per team if you're the winning or the runner-up. Sorry, if you're the winning team. So if you have seen in our proposal towards the participants, you might notice that there's only 2. So those 2 are the choice of the team. This is because from the past moot court competitions, we've noticed that even if we give all 3 members 75% scholarship or 50% scholarships, not everyone would go to UPH. So this time the faculty is reserving a quota and putting 2 because it is the trend that we're looking at. So most of the time, only 2 at most out of 3 would join. So yes, the decision on who would get the scholarship is up to the team. However, there's also, don't forget that there's also a best oralist award. So for the number 1 oralist with the highest scores, they would be awarded with 75% scholarship too, same with the first place. So maybe if you want all 3 of your members, you could go grab both awards, you know, if that's in the realm of possibility. So I hope that answers your question. And for the second question, Leo, could you run it up to me?
Yes. For the second question, so I'm not going to mention the team number and the school, yeah, but there are teams that come from the same school, but based on the draw, we're gonna go against each other in the preliminary round. Are there rules against the team from the same school going against each other in the preliminary rounds? Thank you.
No, so there are no rules against same team in the prelim rounds. If you do meet up with one each other, it's a coincidence because we do randomize these slots, so we have no control on who or how or which team gets into the higher on which team meet each other. That way, I think we could ensure that it's quite fair. Moreover, even if the fact that there's 2 teams that are from the same school that pair against each other, I shall remind you that how you proceed from the preliminary rounds are not whether you win or lose the rounds, but the accumulated points from both of your rounds. So even if you lose the one, for example, you could always accumulate the same one against another team in the second prelim rounds. I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Clement. So there's another question here. Hi, I wanted to make sure. So we will only be pleading once in the preliminary rounds. No, you guys will be pleading for 2 times. One, you guys will be acting as the claimant, and then another pleading. Another pleading. You guys will be pleading as the respondent.
Maybe Leo, you could show them back to the slide where we have the pairings already, so that you guys could find or actually, you know what? We could send you guys the pairings. Have you guys sent the participants the pairings yet?
Yes, guys. You guys can actually see the pairings in the booklet that I sent in the Google Drive link. So in the booklet, it's also given the preliminary rounds distribution. You guys are going to be pleading 2 times in the preliminary rounds so your first pleading is, for example, as the respondent, and then your second pleading as the claimant. So if you guys plead first as a claimant, then your second pleading would be as a respondent. I hope that answers your question. Is there any more question? Okay, maybe we're gonna wait for another 1 or 2 minutes. If there's no question, I think that sums up the tech meet. Oh, one more thing. If you guys have a question in regards to the to your memorial deduction sheet that have been sent, you guys can also ask about it now. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We're not gonna. You guys just review first your memorial deduction. However, we're not gonna have any appeal in regards to that as of now. So if in the next 1 minute, you guys doesn't have any more question, we would end this technical meeting. I would give back the floor to Evangeline.
All right, thank you, Pak Claudio, and for the comprehensive explanation in this segment. I'd like to remind competitors to please enter the Zoom on time tomorrow. Please don't be late. And if there are any further questions regarding tomorrow's preliminary round, you can contact our contact person, Jolene Amara. And that's it. See you guys tomorrow, and good luck for your preparation. See you.
Don't be nervous.
Thank you, Pak.
Thank you.